It is January 31st, 2022. I am updating the public and the world on an event that happened last night, approximately 9:25 p.m. After I had gone and attended my stolen property to secure the property. All those instructions had been given to all the parties who needed to be aware that that was happening. 3 criminals came and intimidated, harassed, uttered threats. Against me. These were actors acting as Satanic Police Department. The actors acting as Victoria Police Department absolutely hate my guts and want to see me dead. So they have now decided, as a coven, to lay fraudulent false charges against me for criminal harassment of 2 individuals who do not have lawful or legal claim to my property. This has been explained repeatedly and repeatedly to those with deaf ears. I do not consent, nor will I ever consent, to being violently assaulted, lied to. You see, the coven that came last night at 9:25 to violently assault me and cause me bodily harm, to abduct me on fraudulent claims, they came at that hour because they seek to hold me in their public service agencies overnight so they can cause me more trauma and more harm. So they can basically abuse me into suicide. That's why there was a coven last night at 9:25 at the door. A coven of criminals. Male and female humans, legally defined as monsters, because only monsters would do that after I've come to you repeatedly, consistently for service, and you have refused service. So that's the indictable crime of fraud. The actors acting as Saanich PD are all guilty of a criminal offense called fraud. You're frauds. If I come to you and I show you a contract that says that is my house and it's been stolen from me, you are then required to attend that property with me and remove the trespassers from that property forthwith. I'm not going to argue about what is lawful with those who know nothing about pretty much nothing other than how to continually, satanically, ritually abuse me, target me, violently fucking harass me, lie to me. This is not my first fucking rodeo with having something of mine that belongs to me and always will stolen, and I am given nothing. Nothing for the property. So I've been informed repeatedly that those acting as the government of British Columbia are never going to release to me the inheritance that was gifted to me by my spouse. Therefore, I am taking possession back of the property because that is my right, that is my duty, that is my obligation. So let me inform you why I'm not going to consent, and I'm never going to consent to your offer of contract to cause me more loss, harm, and damages. I'm not going to allow the 2 individuals posing as Halfam Holdings to call up and lie to the Victoria PD about what's taking place. I was kind, I was informative, I did what I had to do, informing them that that property that they believe they hold is not their property because the true owner did not sell the house. CIBC was never the true owner of that home. It never could be the true owner of that home. Therefore, everything CIBC did is based on fraud. And fraud erases and destroys all contracts whatsoever. Fraud destroys all contracts. Now, last night when the 3 criminals came to the door, they lied to me and said, it's just some paperwork. It's just some paperwork. We just need to abduct you, fucking violently assault you, fucking embarrass you, cause you loss, harm, and injury because we just want to do some paperwork. That's a fucking out and out fucking lie. You wanted to arrest me at that hour so you could hold me in a fucking jail cell overnight, and then all day long I would be held in a satanic fucking ritual building to speak to an individual who knows nothing about what's going on. That's not what the issues are. The issues are not me fraudulently being accused of, falsely being accused of this alleged criminal harassment of these 2 individuals who are on purpose playing stupid so they can continue to make money off of my stolen property while I have nothing. I will not, I do not, I cannot consent to another fucking violent fucking assault, a false fucking arrest and false fucking charges. How does that benefit the taxpayers? How does that benefit the District of Saanich? Last night I went outside and saw my car had been vandalized yet again. This time I've had personal property stolen out of my car. Someone's opened the hood of my car. For 2 months, that car window has been broken, and I have not heard a word from Saanich PD. The other thing is, Saanich PD now is required to go over to the location I'm staying at that has cameras all around the building and go through the footage to find out who got into my car, because it's right on the video. It'll be on the CCTV footage, and it has to be collected as evidence because these are hate crimes being committed against me. And yet, once again, I have gone to receive service and support, and I have received none. So there again, those, the male and females posing as Saanich PD, have yet again committed another act of crime, which is fraud. When you apparently do a service for the public but don't want to serve me, part of the public, that's fraud. And by the way, anybody can do a land title search on any property and find out who owns the property. Anybody, just like I did, could go and request a land title search, which is exactly what I did. I found out who believes falsely that they own that property. They don't. Then I punched in that name of the so-called company, and up came the names of the 2 persons who believe they have title to a property they can't have title on because the title obtained by the last persons was also based on fraud. So I'm never going to get the money out of the court. That's been told to me repeatedly. Wonderful. So that leaves me with then my property in the District of Saanich. So I'm going home. I'm going to go home. I've told you this repeatedly and consistently. You're not going to continue to fucking turn this into something that it isn't because you hate me. You hate me. It's all written throughout the DSM. The scriptures are the DSM. The scriptures explain to me exactly why this is all happening to me. It also explains to me who it is that I'm dealing with and why they have blind eyes and deaf ears. It's a 2-page lawfully binding contract. That is my property. There is trespassers on my property. That's a criminal offense. It's a criminal offense. Howfam Holdings does not hold title to that property. In April 2009, the BC Court of Appeal held that unless a mortgage is granted by the true owner of a property, the mortgage is invalid and the owner's title will be returned to its original state. So this has already been decided. It's already been decided. That's the decision of the court. The true owner did not grant property to CIBC. The true owner would never do that. Why would I give up my gift in return for absolutely fucking nothing? Why would I do that? Who would do that in their right mind? I've explained to you legally how you cannot foreclose on trust property. I went through the entire information with you so you could understand what's going on, and yet you continue to ignore the truth in order to perform your lies and your ugly and your hatred and your victim shaming and your gender-based violence and your racism and your persecution, and you're constantly having to prove who you are to me. You don't need to prove who you are to me. I know who you are. I know who you are. You seek to murder me with your hatred. You seek to murder me with your fraud. How many civil torts here are now all the male and female humans, legally defined as monsters, all guilty of? And I don't deal with fiction. I don't deal with fiction. I don't deal with Victoria Police Department. I don't deal with Satanic Police Department. I deal with the male and female persons, the humans, legally defined as monsters. That's who I deal with. I don't deal in fiction. I don't deal in fraud. I don't deal in falsehood. Because I'm not mentally ill. I'm not mentally ill. I know the truth. I speak the truth. And I don't have a story. I have testimony. I have testimony to provide of continual and repeated acts of genocide against myself and my family by those who pose as BC's public servants. So since you refuse to serve me, you're all guilty of the criminal offense of fraud. So that makes you all hypocrites. So a hypocrite has no right, no standing, no authority, no jurisdiction to come at me with another fucking violent assault and violent fucking charges, another fucking night in fucking jail. I'm an innocent woman. That is not anybody else's property but my property. I have lawful right to occupy the property. So what I see last night when I went to my property is it's all been set up to collect this alleged evidence to charge me with crimes I'm not guilty of, because that's my property and I can attend my property at any and all material times. I can attend my property that's been stolen from me at any and all material times. That's the law. If I know where my stolen property is and I can get my stolen property, then that's my right to do so. Oh, wait a minute, right? All the public servants in British Columbia have decided I don't have any rights. I don't have any rights. I don't have any protections. I don't have a voice. The truth is not admissible. The truth is not going to be heard. The truth is not going to be understood. And yet the criminals are now being protected once again. The criminals who are purposely playing stupid, because the contract is crystal clear, and so is the Court of Appeal, that unless the true owner of property granted the mortgage is void. So CIBC could never possibly be lawfully or legally the true owner of that property. So they can't then go sell property they don't own. And we went over this because this has gone through the courts. Matters like this have already gone through the courts. So who do you need to speak to you before you understand the truth? Who is it that you need to hear from for you to understand the truth? Who do you need to talk to about everything that I'm telling you, which is the truth, for you to then function under the unction of the truth you've been told? Who do you need to hear it from? If you can't hear the truth from me, who is it that you believe that you will then perform for once you hear it from someone else? Who is this someone else? Who is this person that you're then going to hear and believe when they tell you the truth about what I'm telling you? Because I'm telling you the truth. Every dollar from an inheritance from a trust fund has been embezzled by persons posing as the government of British Columbia. Great. Even for me, you're never going to be giving me that inheritance. Wonderful. We've established that repeatedly. We've got records of it, actually, don't we? We've got records of it. So that now means that I'm now going to take access and have access and live inside my gift, because my spouse had a fiduciary duty when he was alive to make sure that I was kept in the lifestyle I'd grown accustomed to. And my lifestyle that I've grown accustomed to is living on that property and living inside that house. Because it was a gift. And it's my gift. And I'm going to utilize my gift. I mean, there's just so many indictable crimes and civil torts being committed against me on purpose by actors acting under acts. Who do you need to hear from? What do I need to say to you? Public servants. So, those fraudulent charges, those fraudulent claims, I've quashed them all. You are not going to charge me. You're not going to abduct me. You're not going to traumatize me. You're not going to criminally harass me. You're not going to utter threats against me. You're not, those are all indictable crimes, and you're responsible in your person. Your person is responsible for your actions. And you are not above the law. You're not above the law. Now I'm terrified to even be where I was because of what you've done to me last night. And you all know full well I was going to my house. Is that where you set up all the cameras? So you could collect your fucking evidence? Are you building a case, are you? Are you building a case? Well, the heart of the matter is not the lies that are being told by HowFam Holdings and those posing as Vic PD and Satanic PD. That's not the heart of the matter. That's not the heart of the issue. Is it? No, of course it's not. The heart of the issue is my house has been stolen, every dollar embezzled. And so I require service according to the acts and the statutes and the codes of the society that you've all created for yourselves. And I know the rules and the acts and the codes of the society you created for yourselves, and you're not following any of them. So that makes you hypocrites. That gives you no authority and no jurisdiction because you're criminals. And criminals have no honor, none. They get shown no honor, they get shown no respect. You're criminals. I don't care who you think you are. I'm going home. I'm not consenting to any more satanic ritual abuse by HowFam Holdings, by those posing as Vic PD, by those posing as Satanic PD. I came to you at the end of November for service, knowing full well how I was going to be treated, knowing full well that this exactly is how this was going to go for me, because this is not my fucking first show dealing with the male and female humans legally defined as monsters. You're male and female monsters legally. And that's actually the truth. Rh positive blood. What kind of species is that? That's an animal. It's an animal. It's monkey blood. Animal blood. That's why you have no understanding. That's why you can't understand what I'm telling you. I'm a woman. So you can't understand the language of a woman because you're not from my race. So this is a case of racism. No?